What up, YouTube Live? This is yours truly, Rama Screen. Holy smokes! That was an awesome episode of The Mandalorian that we had just seen. Wow! Blew my mind. And we're gonna discuss it. It's Season 2, Episode 5. Or let me double check here. AKA Chapter 13. AKA the title is The Jedi. So let me double check to see if our live stream is working well at the moment. So there won't be any confusion. Yes, we are on. Excellent. All right, my goodness, Rosario Dawson showed up as Ahsoka Tano, man. Holy crap. We knew that was gonna happen, right? We've heard rumors that Rosario Dawson was gonna play the role, and also you remember what happened. She kind of denied it. It's like, no, that's just rumors. I'm not gonna be in the Mandalorian. She was trying to downplay the whole thing, but we knew it was gonna happen. Of all the actors to play this role live action, nobody is more perfect than she. I don't think she voiced Ahsoka Tano in the on the Clone Wars animated series and Star Wars Rebels. And you know what? I gotta say, even though she fits this role, and maybe this is just me, but she's kind of too tall to play Ahsoka, man. But putting aside her height, she fits like a glove, and it's just awesome to see one of my favorite actresses, and probably one of your favorite actresses, rocking this character. And so, before I show you a really cool video of Rosario Dawson, I'm gonna save that the best for last, okay? I also want to comment that it was refreshing. It was nice to see lightsabers on this episode. After so many episodes of pew 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 pew, laser guns and whatnot, blasters all over the place, so I was like, wow, back to lightsabers again, back to Jedi, back to talking about the Force. It's like, kind of rejuvenates your love of this franchise once more. So that's another thing that this episode did for us. So Ahsoka is not only just there to be badass, but she also revealed Baby Yoda's name. I hope I pronounced this correctly. Is it Grogu? Grogu? I suck at pronouncing names. Goku? No, that's Dragon Ball. No offense to Dragon Ball fans out there. So now we know. All this time we call him Baby Yoda because Yoda's, he looks like Yoda, right? And Yoda's name was mentioned as well on this episode. But now, from this point forward, we gotta refer to him as Grogu. We gotta call him by his name. It's only right that way, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's gonna be feeling weird to call him that, though. We're so used to just Baby Yoda. Grogu doesn't really roll off the tongue that nicely or that easily. And the thing is, with Rosario Dawson, the whole downplaying and denying, like, I'm not gonna be in Mandalorian season 2. That's actually a ploy that's very common among actors, especially when the roles that they're rumored to be taking on are roles that are just like, um, highly anticipated roles that have a lot of buzz, buzz around them. So, for example, Tatiana Maslany, uh, the star of Orphan Black. Now, the report or the news says that she's gonna be She-Hulk, right, in the She-Hulk series by Marvel Studios for Disney Plus. And so that was the report, the news. I think it was last month, all over the web. And guess what happens right after? Tatiana got interviewed, and she's like, she downplayed it. She denied it. It's like, no, I'm not gonna be on She-Hulk. What are you talking about? The same goes for Mads Mikkelsen. Before he got confirmed to replace Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3, remember, the news hit the web. Oh, Mads Mikkelsen in talks to replace Johnny Depp. And then Mads Mikkelsen was asked for a comment, and he's like, no, it's nothing. Don't believe everything you read out there. And then voila, guess what happened this past few days? Sorry, Jurassic, this is a spoiler review, so you might want to look away then. Come back later when you've watched the episode. Any review of mine of any TV show of the episodes that already aired, that already premiered, it will be a spoiler review. So just like Star Trek Discovery, right? I always come to you guys right after the episode airs. And now the same thing with the Mandalorian. So this is a full review. Only for those of you who have watched today's episode. Another thing that also shows up, or who also shows up, I should say, is the legendary Michael Biehn. Come on now, Corporal Hicks from Aliens. Hello. He plays the villain on this episode, or the henchman to the villain. The villain is the magistrate. And he had a moment with Mando, which is this Western style duel thing, gunfight, and it was awesome. I interviewed Michael Biehn at Comic-Con a couple of years ago, but it was not a video interview, it was audio written. So if you want to check out my article interview with Michael Biehn, go check it out at ramascreen.com. Just a little plug there. Just go to ramascreen.com. On the search box, type in Michael Biehn interview. You'll find it there. But he is one of the friendliest celebs around. Michael Biehn does not have any ego whatsoever, man. He's just so cool, There's an old saying like, you never want to meet your idol. You never want to meet your hero because you might get disappointed by it. But Michael Biehn, he lives up to to his status, man. He's not a jerk. He's not a megalomaniac. He's just a humbled actor, man. So cool. Cage Bondarjuk is here. Hi. So yes, Baby Yoda's name is Grogu, so we gotta get used to that. Rosario Dawson shows up as Ahsoka Tano. That's awesome. So did Michael Biehn show up. I also want to comment on the look and the feel of the episode itself. It's directed by Dave Filoni, right? The guy with the hat, the cowboy hat, Dave Filoni, who gave us who directed many animated series like Clone Wars, Aang, The Last Airbender, the Avatar The Last Airbender. He also directed many of those episodes. So today's episode, The Jedi, if you have watched it, you'll notice that the look of it is a lot like old Japanese films, like Akira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. That's one of those movies that any cinephile needs to see. That needs to put on their bucket list. Among many others. You have to at least have seen or watched Seven Samurai once. So that's the feel of the environment and the tone of it, and the whole with the barren landscape. That's totally that is like Kurosawa, man. It was awesome. And like I said earlier, it was so refreshing to see lightsabers in action. So especially when Ahsoka was fighting Magistrate at the end. I was like, oh, so cool with the choreography. It's like a ballet dance, and it's refreshing because after so many episodes of pew 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 pew, it's like, yes, we go back to the basics, and it's awesome. But yeah, obviously Dave Filoni was highly influenced by Kurosawa's style for this episode, and you know what? It's kind of I'm gonna be honest. If I was a filmmaker, and I want to do this too. If I were to become a director, if that reality ever exists, I would do the same. I would do the same that Dave Filoni did today. Not necessarily Kurosawa, but I do. For example, I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino, right? So if I got hired to direct an episode of The Mandalorian, I would totally do that episode by adopting the style of Quentin Tarantino. I would, maybe there'll be a shot of Mando opening a trunk, and there'll be a shot from inside the trunk. That's Quentin Tarantino loves doing that. And of course, it'll be a little bit of a chatty movie, just like Quentin movies are, and there'll be characters telling stories to each other. So, that'd be pretty cool. I think that's one of the fun things about being a director like Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau. You can apply whatever influence of style that you have adopted or learned, and you're like, what? I want to put that onto The Mandalorian or onto whatever character or onto this whatever episode, and see how that looks. And judging by tonight's episode, it looks amazing. It looks so cool. Oh man, what a great episode. I hope Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano would show up often. I hope this is not like a one-off thing. I hope she is recurring. She looks amazing in that role. She fits perfectly. She may be a little bit too tall, but that's but that's something that we can excuse. And yeah, so I will end this video on. Remember, I promised you that I was gonna show you something cool about Rosario Dawson, right? So here's something cool. Bear with me here. So if you go to YouTube, I'll make it big here so you can see it. So if you go to YouTube, you type in Rama Screen Rosario Dawson interview, or just Rama Screen Rosario Dawson. There you go. Boom! Look, I interviewed Rosario twice. Do you see it? 2 years ago and then last year. So, I mean, like, I don't think she'll remember me if I ever interview her the third time in the near future. But all right, here's the tease for you guys. Let me turn off the song here. There we go. All right. This is at New York Comic Con 2019, before coronavirus. Grogu, that's right, Tyler. Grogu is here.
I love how like narcissistic this is. We can see ourselves. Are we just gonna talk
Look at
to our
that.
images?
Aww.
I hope that's okay.
Hello.
Hi, Rosario.
No, what's up?
Rosario, I'm a big fan of yours. Congratulations on Wonder Woman Bloodline.
Thank you.
Yes,
You've been the
that was
voice of
the
this
movie
character
that
for
she was
quite a
promoting.
while. What
She
new things do
voices
you
Wonder
learn
Woman
about Wonder Woman with each passing installment, especially with this
in a
latest
lot
one?
of DC animated movies.
I love with this story that she has to come to terms with just the reality of her presence and what that can do, to
Look
disturb
at
people.
her.
Her
She's
being and her
gorgeous.
greatness and her
Ah.
beauty and her passion and her
I miss
power
doing
can also still really disrupt
close
other people's
proximity
spaces and
one-on-one
have
interview like
negative
this.
impact and intentions without her even trying or thinking about it.
I hope that's
Hi.
okay.
You can watch it yourself. All right. So Rama Screen, Rosario Dawson, and yeah, I have a soft spot for Rosario. And you know what? Rosario as an actor, I mean, she is lucky. You know what I'm saying? She's been on. Aliza E keeps asking when start. Well, I don't know when the episode will start in your area, Aliza E. But it already aired here in America. It airs every Friday midnight on Disney Plus. So I'm not sure where you are in the world, but check with your local listings for when the episode will air. But yeah, Rosario Dawson shows up as Ahsoka Tano on tonight's episode. But what's my train of thought? Okay, so Rosario is a lucky actress. She was the Nurse Claire in all of those Marvel Netflix series, Daredevil, Punisher, right? Jessica Jones. She crosses over in all of them, including the Defenders. And then, of course, she does the voice of Wonder Woman in a lot of DC animated movies. And now she's like on the Mandalorian. I'm sure she'll be recurring. That's what I mean by a lucky actress, like a lucky actor. And she does movies as well. And so for actors, to have such steady employment, I mean, that's the dream, man. That's the dream, to be appearing in so many franchises. And she is like one of the most highly pursued actress around. Everybody wants a piece of Rosario Dawson. By everybody, I mean like shows and movies and directors and filmmakers. They just love, or they would love, or they love working with Rosario Dawson. And she'll never have to like struggle to find a job. Because I'm sure maybe in the near future, if Star Trek Discovery wants to have Rosario Dawson, they will have her too. So she always shows up everywhere. Hollywood Purgatory is here. Hey Rama. Hey you. Hollywood Purgatory. Thank you for joining in. So yeah, I think I've gone through all the notes of tonight's episode. So cool. Again, the Akira Kurosawa feel to it, the Seven Samurai feel to it was amazing. The tone of it, the environment looks like your classic Japanese samurai movies. Just amazing stuff, and it's refreshing to see lightsabers. I hope we get to see more of that. And Grogu is the name of Baby Yoda, so we have to get used to that. I know Baby Yoda rolls a lot easier on the tongue, but Grogu, say it with me now: Grogu, 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 Grogu. And what do I think of the name? It sounds a little barbaric for somebody like Baby Yoda. I was hoping for a much softer name. Grogu sounds rough. uh, Hollywood Purgatory says, did Rosario live up to your expectation? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I was just showing you my video interview with Rosario Dawson. Can you see it? So this was at New York Comic Con. So she lives up to my expectation at any time, in any role, especially in person. Rama, do you know who played Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth? I don't know who plays Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth. If you know, chime in. The only cameos that I know on today's episode are Rosario Dawson and Michael Biehn. Corporal Hicks from Aliens. So, but who plays Magistrate Morgan A. Smith? That is a mystery. And the thing is with the Mandalorian, they don't reveal their full cast of the specific episode on their IMDb until later on, and that's their way of keeping things secret. I mean, if you go to Michael Bean's IMDb right now, I kid you not, it doesn't even list the Mandalorian, because that's how they want to surprise you. That's why when rumors broke about Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano, Rosario tried to downplay it, like, no, that's just I'm not gonna be on the Mandalorian season 2. That's their ploy. So uh, let's see here. Hot Purgatory says, "Oh, really? Okay, all right." So Diana Lee Inosanto. Okay, I had no idea, man. Thank you for that information. I appreciate it very much. So yeah, that's the one who plays Magistrate. And yeah, what was my? Oh man, I lost my train of thoughts. Sorry, it's 2 a.m. in the morning here in California time. Okay, and I'm trying to fight off drowsiness, before I fall asleep. But yeah, uh, that's their point. They're like they try to deny it, they try to downplay it, and because they want to keep the surprises for you guys. And I think what, for what it's worth, it works. The strategy works, and it's so cool to see these people show up, even for just one episode on The Mandalorian. But hopefully that's not just one episode for Rosario. Um, Bruce Lee's goddaughter. That's right. I've heard of her. I don't know much about Diana Lee, to be honest with you. I know much about Bruce Lee, as we all do, but I don't know much about Diana Lee. But if she's a big deal to you, Hollywood Purgatory, much power to you. A big deal to me is Rosario Dawson. And so again, just a little plug. Go on YouTube, type in Rama Screen Rosario Dawson interview, and you can watch 2 of my Rosario Dawson interviews. The one that's like very up close and personal, and the one that's more sitting down, more proper. So yeah, is there a name yet for Michael Bean's character? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But I'm sure it'll show up on Star Wars Wiki. Um, I love their fight when they disrobe. I love the Magistrate and Ahsoka Tano's fight. That was awesome. The final, and and the way Ahsoka took down the guys on top of the wall. That was like so badass. I was like, yes, that was so cool. I think that's it. Those are the notes that I have on today's episode. I hope I'm not missing anything. Uh, there is at least 3 more episodes, right, before the finale of season 1. I think there's only a total of 8, and tonight is like episode 5. So yeah, I'm sure by the time Christmas comes around, it'll be over, this season 2. So let's make the best of it. Just squeeze every dollar, milk it till it dry. Enjoy it while it lasts. This season 2, because it's coming up. The finale is coming up pretty soon. Um, Hollywood, do you think Grogu is tricking us about his intelligence? I don't know. The answer to that question is I don't know. Because the whole thing with the floating the pebble or the stone over to Grogu, and then you're like, oh, it works with Mando. maybe Grogu is like, how do you call that? Hustling, right? Hustling. That's the term when you pretend to be not good when you're actually that good. You're a hustler. Maybe Grogu is a hustler, but you never know. um, This is season finale as yeah, the season 2 finale. That's what I mean, not series finale. Season 2 finale is coming up soon. There's only about I want to say 8 or 9 episodes. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll be done I think by Christmas. Not the series finale, obviously, but the season 2 finale. So just enjoy it while it lasts. It's coming up pretty soon, and looking forward to next week's episode. We don't know uh, if Mando will end up finding this temple, or if next week Mando will get distracted again, and because that's always what happens. He always gets like he gets pulled into these directions, whether or not he wants it. It's like, oh, okay, we'll do a detour here, or we'll stop by here. That's Mando for you. Yes, overall, fantastic episode. Yeah, I don't have any complaints or negative comments about it. Perfect. So thank you so much, Hollywood Purgatory, and Jurassic Theory, and Eliza E, and Tyler Calvert for chatting with me uh, at 2:12 a.m. right now, California time. I am so sleepy, so I'm gonna be signing off because I need my beauty sleep. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. Love you, Rosario Dawson. Woo woo!